Welcome to the ASB MBA Conversations. Today's episode is for anyone who's thinking about applying for an MBA and wondering what actually sets your application apart. Of course, we always say it's about the holistic person and the process. And that is true, but let's be honest, there are key components that can make your application stand out from the pack and look better than others. So today I have the full admissions team joining me, and we're going to talk about certain elements and break down the application to how you stand out and set yourself apart. So Mai will walk us through the resume, Nisa's will unpack the cover letter, Raf will talk about the merit and impact-based scholarship, and Raf will also discuss the org chart with us. And finally, Romley is going to help us wrap up the conversation today, and we'll share tips and tricks on the 1-minute video. So let's begin. So Mai, let's discuss the resume. Many candidates think it's just a summary of their past experience, and yet they're leaving so much out that they need. Can you share from an admissions perspective what you're actually looking for in the resume?
Sure. I guess I'll share 4 different tips, right? So the first tip, we want to focus on impact. You want to focus on impact, not just responsibilities. A lot of resumes tend to list your task, right? But what really stands out to us is the result of your work. So we're talking about achievements, and you wanna put in some numbers in there, some outcomes and measurable achievements to make your resume much stronger. So that's the first one. Second one is that your resume should show progression, leadership. So that is really, how we can see that you've grown over time. So you highlight promotions, increased responsibilities perhaps, or situations where you took initiative, right? Influence others or even led a team. The third point is that you do want to keep your resume clear and concise. 1 to 2 pages would be the standard. And you want to use strong action verbs throughout your resume, bullet points, and avoid long paragraphs. Fourth would be that you tailor your resume for the role or industry that you're targeting. The same experience can be reframed differently, and depending on the industry that you're focused on. Yes. So really think of your resume as a conversation starter. It's not a life story. It just captures your professional achievements, and it gives us a summary of that.
Thank you. That's excellent advice. Now, if I can flip the coin, what is the biggest mistake you see candidates make on the resume?
Biggest mistakes. I would say that it seems like a generic task list, and achievements are really not highlighted. So it doesn't show anything special. It doesn't tell a story, or it's not specific enough to how you have contributed and what you have contributed. Yeah.
Thank you. And finally, if you can give one piece of advice to help a candidate elevate the resume immediately, what would that be?
Right. So you want to be obviously honest and authentic in your resume writing. You can use AI tools to help you polish your writing, but in the end, it's really got to do. It really has to be honest, and it has to be the work that you actually put in, and that way we can actually see the value in your resume.
Fantastic. So it's not about having the best title, it's more about demonstrating real impact and outcomes.
For sure, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So Nisa,
Yes.
let's talk about the cover letter. So this is where candidates really get a chance to speak directly to us. What makes a cover letter strong?
Right. Hi, Jules. Thanks for having me today. So basically, cover letter, unlike any other cover letter where you use to send to apply for a job, it's way different when you apply for an MBA. So basically, when you apply for a job, then you mention, the job that you're applying for, the reason why you're applying, what you have, skill set, whatever not, to match the vacancy that you're applying for. But for MBA, it's a little bit different. So, and cover letter is where you introduce yourself. That's the first, a chance for you to tell us about your story. You introduce yourself, you tell us why you would like to apply for MBA, why ASB, and why you feel that the program in ASB or the MBA program in ASB fit into what you are looking for in an MBA. And ultimately, you have to tell us why now. Sometimes, somebody who have been working for several number of years of working experience, and what made us wonder why now doing MBA. So that also will be an additional point for us to understand and to understand you better. Lastly, your post MBA aspiration. What's your plan? 1 year after graduation, a few years after graduation. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Now, of course, you have read many of cover letters, as have I, where people write it, they sound super polished, super high level, almost ChatGPT'd.
Yep.
So what impressions do you get when that happens?
It's okay to use ChatGPT, but for us, you use ChatGPT only when you want to clean your sentences. For example, we can know if those sentences were written from the heart.
Mm.
It's your real experience. It's your real, aspiration. We would be able to gauge genuineness, if that's a word. And basically, let's say, for example, do attempt to create your first draft out of your own self. Then if you feel that certain sentences needs to be strengthened up, for example, use ChatGPT. It's fine. But as long as your first draft came right from you, right from your heart.
That sounds good. So what differentiates an average cover letter from an exceptional one?
Right. So this is something that, again, cover letter is your first document to tell us about yourself, your introduction, and also your opportunity to impress us. So to impress us, you need to come up with something that is memorable. So say for example, your post MBA aspiration, your dream, that is great and good enough to even make us believe that we want to be part of your dream. That would be something that's memorable.
That's fantastic. So this is really about intentionality and fit.
Exactly. So again, that's really important, the intentionality and fit, because at the end of the day, in turn, we would want to know that whether our program will be able to equip you better. So if there is no fit, between the program and you yourself as a candidate, then, there's no point of us accepting you if we are not able to match what you need moving forward.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nisa. This is episode 1, and we are in segment 3 about merit and impact essays. Raf, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you share with us a little bit about the merit and impact essays that we have in the application? Because sometimes they're underestimated. Why are these such an important component of the application?
So most applicant would think that it's just another tick in the box in the application, but actually it's a huge data point for us because this is where we see how mature is the applicant, how ready they are for the MBA program. So our questions, there are 3 questions, and applicant need to answer 2 of them. So most questions are mostly reflective questions where applicant need to really think about themselves or whether they are ready for an MBA. Whether they can improve themselves during the MBA program. That's kind of important for us because our MBA program is team-based. So we want to know whether you can learn with other people and how people can learn from you.
Do you have any concerns that get raised when you read merit and impact-based essays?
Yeah, we look for some red flags because some applicants do write essays very vaguely, and sometimes we do understand that it's like a template they put on ChatGPT. This is what I have, and put it in there, and the essay considered a tick in a box. So basically, what we want to see is your authentic voice, your authentic experience, and we want to see you as an individual, how you can fit in the cohort as part of the cohort of the ASB MBA program. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So, in many ways, this essay isn't really about finance at all. It's really about how prepared and how thought through you are about the MBA.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, because ASB MBA program, we have career development office, we have mindset lab. We want to see how well you're gonna use those opportunities when you come to our MBA program.
May I ask you another question?
Sure.
Okay, so one of the components in the application is about the org chart.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will just print out their org chart. Can you share your thoughts about that? Is it effective?
It will not be fully effective for us because as much as easy to print it out, slap it on application, it's pretty hard for us to see where you are in the application or in part of your organization. So if you can't really have it yourself, we would highly recommend you to make it from scratch using your PPT or your Word document to see who are your direct supervisors, who are your direct reports, and who are direct managers, so that we want to see how you work well with your bosses and how you work with people below you and your subordinates and your colleagues as well. So sometimes we have examples. We have applicants from bigger companies, and then they have a huge chart, and we have to squint our eyes and look at where is this person in the chart. So yeah, we would prefer for you to have your own organization chart that you made yourself, and then put a red circle where you are in that part of the chart. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I couldn't agree with you more. It's very painful to read an org chart from a company HR. But when you build the org chart yourself, it's very easy to see where the applicant is and understand exactly the perspective they're coming from.
Yeah. And also, if I may add, people who read your application are people as well. So if you make our life easier, we'll make your life easier as well, and a lot better when we read through your application.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Romley, thank you for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the video. Okay, 1 minute sounds like it's easy to do,
Mm-hmm.
but what are you looking for in just 60 seconds?
Oh well. Whenever we receive application, one of the things that we're really looking forward to is the 1 minute video, because finally we get to see the person behind the application, right? What do really want to see in that 1 minute is like who you are beyond the papers or beyond the qualification that you put in that application. So try to impress us in a good way, and also try to tell stories about who you are in just 1 minute, of course. Another one thing is we want to see how you able to communicate, especially like in that 1 minute. Sort of like to sell yourself.
So thank you, but I've actually heard of people paying a production company to do their video. So do you actually judge professionalism and the production quality and even the fancy editing?
Oh, not necessarily. However, it does have to come up polished. Like what you need to do. You can just use your phone camera, your smartphone. It doesn't have to be necessarily like a $1,000 camera. But maybe you need to do some editing. There's a lot of free editing software out there. The most important things is the content. And in terms of like the end of products, at least you need to make sure that you are properly dressed and the content is there. And also, what do we really want to see is how hungry you are to get into our program. Make sure the lighting is good, the sound is good, and also make sure that you articulate pretty well in the video as well. Yeah.
No, that's good advice. And if you're intimidated on editing videos, don't worry about it. Just record it more than once.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Another tips that you can do is actually you can use those online tools where they can guide you. For example, you can just record it over Zoom. You don't know how to do it, or you don't have any additional tools. Yeah. Just make
Perfect.
sure the lighting is perfect.
Perfect advice. So what makes a video memorable?
What makes video memorable? So having to read several applications for the past 2 years. A few videos that quite memorable to me is those who are sent to us a genuine stories about themselves. Those are very memorable to us, especially when you are able to tell us who are you beyond the resume or beyond the qualification that you put in your application. It's sort of like we get to know, or we get a glimpse of your life through this video. So those are like pretty memorable to me. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So, this is really the moment where we get to see the person behind the paper, and it's more about what you say
Yes.
than about the perfect polish of the video.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. That's it. All the best for your application. And we can't wait to read your application soon.
Thank you so much. So, if you're applying for the MBA, this is a wonderful opportunity to leverage every component to put your best foot forward and succeed in your MBA application. And I wish to say a special thanks to my colleagues, to Mai, to Nisa, to Raf, to Ramli, for taking the time to be with us today. And best of luck in your application, and we look forward to reading your application soon. Thank you.